Bonjour, mes amis. I want to talk to you a little bit today about Treaties Recognition Week, and I'm going to read to you a story called On the Trapline. But before we begin, I wanted to show you very specifically the treaties in our areas. So this is from our teacher resource that we have, and I'm going to click through it a little bit because we have some resources here that will be helpful for you, but also in particular, I wanted to show you two things. First of all, some peoples who live around the London area. This helps us understand the treaties and why they're important. Okay, so Chippewa of the Thames First Nation is close to London, Ontario. Okay, it's to the west of us. They're Anishinaabe, okay, of Deshkan-Zibing. So that's the official name. They're also known as Ojibwe people, whose original language, Anishinaabe-Moan, is identified with the Algonquin language family, if you're familiar with the word Algonquin. And the Chippewa of the Thames First Nation have treaty and traditional territories that go all around the London area. Okay, so it's all around the Thames River, southwest of London, and it actually extends south into Michigan as well. So I want to show you this map. Okay, it's very small, so I'm going to try and zoom in some more. I don't know if it's going to let me zoom in anymore, but we'll try. So there we go. So if you look in the middle, I knew about the London Township Treaty, which was in blue, right in the middle here, and that's from 1796, and I knew it was called London Township Treaty number 6. There's a lot of Treaty 6s actually all around Canada, but that's from a very long time ago. So if you think about when settlers first arrived in Canada, we know that London was originally going to be considered the capital of Canada, then it moved to Toronto for the capital of Ontario, and then Ottawa for the capital of Canada. But we know that it was a very important area because of all the rivers and lakes that intersected around here. Okay, especially the Thames River, Deshkan-Zibi, also known as the Antler River. So up north, just a little bit north of London, is called the Huron Tract Treaty. If you have heard of places like Sarnia and Grand Bend, all the way up to a place called Godridge, Tobermory, that's all connected into that area of the Huron Tract Treaty. So what that means is the agreements that were made between Indigenous peoples of those times and settlers still stand, and they stand as long as the rivers flow and as long as the sun is shining. So the promises that were made specifically to take care of the earth are still legal documents. And also, it's still important for us to know in our hearts what that means. The Huron Tract Treaty was very, very old. It's 200 years old almost, right? Number 29. So that's interesting. If you ever go camping or if you're vacationing around the lake, it's important to know that area, and that's the treaty that governs that. And you can also learn about what the treaty promises were that were made there. Now below, this is Port Stanley, and it goes all the way down to Windsor, Pelee Island, Chatham, all in that area. Chatham might be part of the Longwoods Treaty, but down here is all called the McKee Treaty of 1790, also very, very old. So that is over 200 years old at this point, right? And that's treaty number 2. And then there's also in the middle here, Longwoods Treaty. If you've ever been to a place called Longwoods Conservation Area or Scanadote, this is a place where the Munsee, Delaware Lenape people live, and as well as Chippewa of the Thames First Nations. And it's a very important area because Lenape is a language that is it's in danger. There's not a lot of Lenape speakers left, and there's a beautiful longhouse there. It's not traditional longhouse in that's not where it was originally established. It was moved there for historical purposes, but you can go and visit, and it's a very special place. And then here we have Treaty 3. So that, I think, is Turkey Point, and this is Lake Erie down here. And then there's a lot of really big land around here. So this is farmland. That might include Elmer and Exeter, a whole bunch of places like that.